Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Medieval Knights. I am TJ West, and thank you for joining me on this Once Human full release. Today we are going to be talking everything farming for Once Human. And let me go ahead and make my way over to my self-built farm. So at the start of this, we have indoor farming. And as you can see, it's kind of set up to where I can control everything. But we're going to start today with outside farming, outdoor farming. So early on, you're only going to have farm plots that are... Nope, I did need to go here. That are like this. Okay? And the main gist of it is you can go up to it, you can plant your seeds, whatever you've got. If you don't have any fertilizer, you could just go ahead and put it in there. Let me just grab some corn. I'll put some corn in there because I have a lot. So if you don't have any fertilizer, it'll be here. Then you just click F, and now the corn is planted. From here, you'll need to put water in it, and I don't have any water on me, so let me go and correct this issue. And here we go. So then you'll just go into your farm plot, you'll click it, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you have to pay attention to this because pure water will give you so much hydration in your irrigation section. I think it's like 10 or 20. Seawater gives you some, boiled water gives you some, dirty water gives you some, but it's all like scaled up. So dirty water gives you, I think, 5 per, boiled water 10 per, pure water 20 per. I'm not exactly sure on seawater. I've always turned it to salt for cooking and that sort of thing. But anyway, so you'll want to select how many and then click F, and now your irrigation is up to that percentage. So with this, you want to keep it within the green. You don't want it to go into the yellow. If it does, it's going to take longer for your crops to actually germinate and then produce. The lighting is dependent on the sun when it's outdoors like this. Indoors, it's a lot easier to control, but outdoors, depending on the day, if it's nighttime, of course, you're not going to have any light. If it's daytime, it depends on how much sunlight you actually get in that area. If there's trees or anything blocking, which is why I'm actually, in somewhat of the desert region. If there's any trees that the sun is kind of hitting and it's putting shadows on it, that will affect your sunlight. So you kind of have to keep that in mind when you're planting your crops and you're trying to grow some things. So I have wheat planted here. I have corn, and then I have mushrooms. Now the reason I have this variety is because the wheat and corn makes a food product that I like to eat. It's corn soup, and it gives you 50% hydration, 50% hunger. The mushrooms are actually what I use to create my fertilizer. And we'll go over that as well. Fertilizer is basically, you could take your spoiled food or just foodstuffs in general and you could toss them into the compost bin here. And as you can see, I've got spoiled food, I've got some cornbread going in there. I could put a lot of different things in here to make fertilizer. Now from there, you have to take the fertilizer, and there's different recipes for different types of fertilizer. For now, I actually just created yield boost. So if I scroll down to here, we've got yield boost, we've got breeding boost. So as you can see, it's for the breeding, it's scarlet calamus. The growth boost is apples. The yield boost is mushrooms. So that's why I'm growing mushrooms right now, so I can create more of that fertilizer. Now, the irrigation section I actually have set up to do automatically. I have that unlocked. So this here is an automatic irrigation facility. You can set the target irrigation level that you want it to be at by pressing F. You can access the items in it, so you can put items in it, take items out. Right now it has 100 pure water, so I'm going to leave it at that. And then attach wire. It has to have power to function. So mine is not functioning right now. I have it put on a switch right here. So if I click it, boom, and now it's going to irrigate all of my farms for me. So what this is going to do, it's going to bring my water up to 80%, and it's going to leave it there. Now, I don't need it to water the whole time, so I put a switch on it so I could shut it off. I don't want it to just use up water, because in the area that I'm at, water is actually hard to come by. Anyway, so on to the indoor section. Indoor is a little bit more strategic. So I have grow lights here, and I'm going to go ahead and turn those on for you here. And I hope this is coming out okay. I'm going to edit it a little bit, but not much. So if there's any questions or any comments, you can go ahead and let me know. Now the grow lights I also put on a switch because I don't necessarily need them all the time. I'm still trying to figure out what I want to grow. But as with the irrigation out there and the irrigation in here, which is this right here, automatic irrigation, the grow lights you can set the target lighting for. So different things are going to require different lighting. So we'll just go through and plant something. So why don't we go with the Scarlet Calamus, and I'm going to plant it in this back corner here. Scroll down, and we'll go ahead and do yield boost fertilizer. So you scroll over with the mouse wheel, select which one you want, and then click F. And now as you can see, this one needs a 74 and less than an 80 for its artificial light and its irrigation. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this down to a 60. And then I'm going to turn this down to a 60 as well. And let's see if that works. So yes, that puts that perfectly fine. As this uses water, it'll drop in between these levels, so it will germinate as fast as it can and then actually produce stuff for us also as fast as it can. If I waited on that, then it would have taken longer and longer and longer. Now I do have to wait for the irrigation, the actual water content in the soil, to drop before it hits that green section, but for now it's going to be perfect. It will drop over time and it will take it a little bit longer to germinate, but all in all, the indoor section you have a lot more control over. You can actually plant and grow a lot more different things. The way I have this set up is I have 4 grow lights here, and they're set up to where, like, this is getting 60% light. However, this one still getting 60. This one is getting 90, so I have those set at 90 right now until I plant something. Alright, so as with the outdoor section, my indoor section also has a fuse box, a switch for the irrigation, where I can turn it on, turn it off. And also, if you have crops planted next to each other in here, and you have, like, this one needs 60%, but this one needs 90%, but I don't want to bump my irrigation thing up to 90% because it has to stay at the 60. If I put this up to 90, then it's going to take this stuff longer to grow. So I will physically go in here and I will add to it. So if I planted something here, it would bring up my water section, and I could use water that was on my person to actually put water into the planter box. And that's a way you can hydrate it manually. Let me go ahead and put this guy in here. This grow shroom here will actually help automatically plant seeds and accelerates crop growth. The higher the deviant energy rating, the faster the growth. We'll go ahead and put a green light in here real quick, just so you can, well, just so I can have it done. There we go. And then I believe I still have enough. Yeah, I still have plenty. So I can go ahead and attach a wire to this. And there we go. And now he is going to be happy. Now with him, when our crops actually fully grow and they're ready to harvest, he will harvest them automatically and stick the product and the seeds into his little box there, and I can collect it from there. So my water is actually here. I have a full tank of pure water, which I brought over from the last place that I was actually living. It was across the map. And then here is dirty water that is being pulled from my rain catchers on the roof. Now, my rain catchers seemed bugged. They didn't seem to be actually catching water when it rained. It just constantly said no rain. So I'm not sure if they're actually working or not, but we'll see over time. I also have water purification things in here that are purifying water as we go. So those have dirty water in it. They make purified water, and then they output to that pure water jug. Now that pure water jug is what feeds all of my irrigation systems. As you can see, I have a pump over here to move the water. So with these pumps, if your dirty water supply is down below and you need to move it up, place a pump just above the water line of the dirty one, and then place everything you want to supply to it up above that. So as you can see here, the water flow is going to the pump, and then from the pump to the other irrigation sections. Now this is pumping from the water tank to my irrigation spigots, because the spigot ports are lower than the water tank port. So up above that is my dirty water. So over here, I have that pumping directly to another water pump, which I put above the water line for the water tank, but below the connecting line for the compact water filter. And then I use gravity to go from the compact water filter into the water tank that has my pure water in it. So yeah, that's your basic, that's actually a pretty good overview of farming in the game. Now, as you go, let me get out of that. As you go, you can unlock better recipes. Let me go here. So you can unlock better recipes. You can unlock better fertilizers. Like I still have this one, mutation boost to get deviated crops. Better dishes, so you know, okay, I need to, farm this more or farm that more, so on and so forth. So you have to unlock this stuff as you go, so stoves, dishes, air drying, and then you unlock the planting section, which is how you get all of your different unlocks for your planting. And this is all I've gotten so far. So I got to grow lights, I went to fertilizers too, and that's all I've done. I could go ahead and get this. I need more link energy, which I can go do quests and stuff for, but at any rate, that is what I have so far. Brewing barrels, and what this is all leading up to. So you farm stuff so you can cook stuff, right? So if I go inside my house, which it's nothing special, it's kind of small, I think. You've got your fridge to hold your items that might spoil. Like I've gotten spoiled food already. I'm kind of trying to let that spoil already because it was already about dead. That as well. And then you take this stuff and you go to your stove, and this is where you will craft all of your foodstuffs. So let's see, bacon burger, I need pork, tomato, which I don't have, deviated onion I don't have, cucumber I don't have. So I still need to find all of this stuff and actually make it. Deviated aloe vera, corn oil, I could probably make that eventually. But as you go through, you find stuff, you find seeds for it, and then you can grow it, and that is how you would actually grow it. If it requires something special, like a low light source or a low water content in the soil, then this setup, the setup that I have here, actually makes it the easiest to control, if that makes sense. So as you can see, my corn is already germinated, now it's growing, so it's at 1% growth. It says it has low light because the sun is not out, the moon is out. And so that's that. I hope this guide helps you in your farming abilities in Once Human. I hope that it answers some questions, and if not, go ahead and leave a comment down there under the video, and I'll get to it and try to answer your questions. As you can see, I have one biomass generator. It's 25 watt that is powering all of this. Yes, all of this is being powered by that. And it's working actually great. So you can do this yourself. This has provided me enough food, not just for myself, but I'm able to provide enough food for my team of Sheared Sheep Gaming, Mike Ladd, and Alchemy. I think you guys know those from our streams on Sunday. And yeah, so that's how you do farming in Once Human. You can do this with the Loomy soil, you can do this with the crop plots. It's just about unlocking the required memetics and the required, skills and stuff, and then utilizing them in the best way possible to make it easy on you. So really all I have to do is make sure that these crops are planted and planted the way I want them to be, and it does itself. I could leave this on and walk away and it would keep these crop plots at about 80% water content. And if I really wanted to, I could adjust this up here. I could plant a bunch of different stuff like cucumbers or just pretty much anything I want up here, and it's going to work. Now this is saying it has low light. It's not low light, it's just saying it is because it wants to be a butthead. But as you can see, he is now doing his thing. So I hope this was helpful. Thank you for joining me today, and as always, let's keep it medieval.